Let's get it on. We are here at track number 4.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
I'm on.
you're on. You're on.
Wow.
We're all on.
We're all on.
My name is Pants.
And my name is JR. How you going, Pants?
I'm going well, buddy.
Awesome.
Great
sorry
to be here.
Yeah, sorry to the folks at home. I just went, whoa.
That's okay. It's
That's
all
okay.
a bit loud. We're
That's
going to be bringing you this wonderful game coming up between Brisbane City Rollers and Kingston City Rollers.
Yes, indeed.
It makes it easier to remember one is Brisbane and one is Kingston, and off we go.
Exactly. One's from Queensland, the other one's from Victoria.
Making
their debut this year, Kingston City Rollers.
Sweet as.
At the TGSS2018. We're coming to you from track number 4.
Number 4.
And we're not too far off from making a start.
Let's quickly run through the rosters. I'll go through Brisbane
Go
City.
for it.
Now, playing today, we've got 102 Regulator, 115 Nick Rophilia, 14 Thunderpuss, 313 Kimbakazi, 32 Scarebear, 4 Dopamine, 40 Unforgiving Bunny, 455 Rocket Man, 703 Peppermint Crunch, 72 Vixen, and 981 Ashes to Smashes.
Awesome. And on the Kingston City Roller side of things, we have a 000 Ida Beholder, number 14 Code, number 29 Scrimchy, number 41 Smaximilian, number 469, and the Captain Exy, number 555 Thundercat, number 57 Which Way, number 8 Abbey Rogue, number 82 Maple Slam, and rounding out the Kingston roster, it is number 91 Murray Fury with Chops, Astrid, and General Payne on the bench. Although, I'll have to correct, because General Payne's actually one of our referees, and I believe she might be refereeing this game or another game. But anyway, certainly Chops and Astrid I know are on the bench.
All right, well, the bench is listed for Brisbane City today. Kieran Toomey, Christy Sari, Claire Marie Toomey, and Kate Creevy. So there you go. Awesome.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the refs to get everything set, and off we go. The punk blockers are already just occupying the middle of the track. They've been there for like the last,
week,
3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Just
been
even in the middle of the last game, it was a bit awkward, but that's all right.
That's okay. We can work with these things.
Just extra,
extra
random articles in the middle of the track. You can skate around that, right?
Exactly. Oh, we can. Also good to note this weekend, and an ex-Kingston boy on the far side. You'll remember him from a few weeks ago, Dread Blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Dread started out with Kingston. He's still with Kingston. And also a wizard. So he made his debut this year at the World Cup as a wizard.
Sweet.
So it's good to have Dreads on board with us just to help us out as a shadow for this weekend. So him and Chops have got a really good understanding of our team dynamic and what we need to do in order to get the things done. So it's great to have him along as well.
Well, as we say in the classics, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. We are all set to go.
Yeah.
So we'll see how the teams mesh together. Of course,
Exactly.
Brisbane City, no strangers to the Great Southern Slam.
No.
No strangers to Interleague Derby. So they'll be well drilled, and they've got a nice, deep roster to draw upon. So we'll see how that bears itself out as the game progresses.
No strangers to Kingston too. I mean, obviously, when they come down to Melbourne for the United Roller Derby playoffs, they bring their mixed gender team with them. So both teams know each other. So it's going to be really interesting to see, I guess, from a Kingston standpoint, how they handle a kind of different looking BCR. So it'll be really, really interesting to see how that goes.
And speaking of which, the first blood goes to Necrophilia.
Yep.
And to the punk blockers, so they've got the first lead jam of the game.
Yep. And Smaximilian jamming for Kingston with just one more blocker to get through.
Nice blocking from Kingston City. Just forced Nick to the outside. Got to go back, try again. This time the way is opened up on the inside line. Bam.
Yep. Unfortunately, though, first smack sheet picked up a penalty, so it's a power jam start. Well, it's a power jam for Brisbane City Rollers. And Necrophilia, well, making hay while the sun shines, so to speak, getting all the points and taking full advantage of the fact that her opposing jammer is having a bit of a rest in the penalty box.
Nice step through on the inside. The pump blockers split the defense on that previous pass. Defense just went, all right, well, we'll just go back and rejoin then if you want to play it that way.
Yeah. Maximilian exits the penalty box now, makes her way back on track. And she'll be wanting to get the hammer down and get the afterburners on and try and get through and salvage something and get some points on the board for Kingston.
Very agile going here from the punt blockers. They're able to shut it down at the back of the pack here and force to the outside. So great opening play here. It's a 24-point jam so far.
Yep.
And that's exactly what you want to do early on in these round games, is just stamp your authority early on, knock the wind out of your sails of the opponent.
I wouldn't be surprised if in the first maybe 4 or 5 jams, if Chops and Kingston call a team timeout, he'll want to just settle the girls down. As I said, right off the top, it's the first time we're at TGSS this year, and already Kingston have seen 4 visits to the penalty box, and Chops will be more than aware of that.
End of the jam, and it's another 4 points to Necrophilia, so that is a 38-point jam.
Yeah.
Yoiks and away, as we say.
Yep. Certainly not something that Kingston would have wanted to happen, but it's early stages yet.
Yep. No, you're going to dust yourself off. You're going to pick yourself up and try again.
Yeah. Why not?
Hey, that's Derby. All right, whistle blows. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Looks like Rocket Man jamming for Brisbane. And indeed it is. Gets on through, picking up lead jammer. And looks like we have Which Way for Kingston being held up quite well by the Brisbane defence. She's stuck midway on the main straight. Meanwhile, out front, picking up a Grand Slam 5-point haul. It is Rocket Man.
KCR blockers just trying to break up that Brisbane triangle, and Regulator having none of that. She has helped force a cut track penalty, so KCR's jammer now sitting down in the box.
Yeah, Kingston going to have to be very much aware of this. I know it's early stages, but there's just some things not going their way at the moment, whether they're just a little overawed or a little bit nervous. Who knows? But full credit to the BCR.
Oh, almost through on the inside.
Nearly.
Rocket Man just trying to get a little bit airborne, trying to keep that skate on the inside line of the track. Unable to do so. And we'll try again.
Yep.
KCR setting their D. And just not able to shut down the outside that time.
As Which Way has exited the penalty box and now back on track, but met immediately by, well, it's just a formidable triangle of blocking power from Brisbane. They are certainly working her over and giving her absolutely nothing at all to work with.
That was Exie doing some nice defensive work on the inside line that time.
And getting on through for Kingston is Which Way. Unfortunately, though, for Kingston and Murray Fury picking up a forearms call, so she will start the next jam in the penalty box. Another 25 points going the way of BCR. Unfortunately, Kingston yet to hit the scoreboard on 0 points, and Brisbane on 63. As we see on the jam start line, it is 1-4. That's code for Kingston. Can't quite make out. As we find ourselves under a official timeout.
Yep, official timeout over here. And it was interesting. Punk blockers getting set for some unorthodox defensive moves by the looks of it. So it looks like they're going to be taking some opportunity to try out a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep. And I guess when you get this sort of a jump on you, you've got to just start trying some things. And it might be different to what you're otherwise used to, but you've got to try something just to try and, if you can, get some ascendancy back on your side. At the moment, BCR have come out all guns blazing, full broadside, and they've really put the sword to Kingston early stages in this game. But I would expect that Kingston will they'll make a fight of it. And
oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we've already seen some fairly one-sided competitions in the first game, and love watching these things because you want to see how your opponents respond.
Definitely.
And people just keep on getting knocked down and getting back up again. People keep on trying.
Keep on trying. And you've got to.
You've got to. You've only got a couple of games perhaps at the Great Southern Slam.
That's exactly right.
So you got to make the most of every opportunity you can,
do.
even if you're getting slammed on the score. You look for your little victories. You get through. You try and get a few points.
Yep.
And when it happens, yay, you did it.
Exactly.
You know? You've managed to win some small victories as well. And that's only good for the way you feel about the game and the way that you play. Interesting
point you make about the scoreboard. Sometimes the scoreboard is completely irrelevant to what you take away from the game as a collective. I know I've just come off of track 1, Victoria Roller Derby, Queen Bees taking on Northside Rollers. It was a fair, sizable win for them in the end, 380 to 91. But credit to Northside. They, as you said, they never gave up. They just kept fighting. At the end of the day, they probably don't even look at the scoreboard. They just go, you know what, that was a really tough challenge against an amazingly strong team. That for us, psychologically, I guess, that's a win for them. They don't look at the scoreboard. They don't care about the final result.
Let's get some derby happening.
What's your false starts?
Yeah, that
very close.
And a false start was issued that time, so yeah, very close to the pivot line.
So we have jamming, as I mentioned, 1-4. That's code jamming for Kingston. And we have, as soon as I get the name, it looks
number 4 is Dopamine.
Yeah, it is Dopamine. Yeah.
Yep.
I just had to get her number. Jamming for BCR. Turn 3 is where we find the pack, ladies and gentlemen. Pushing really hard.
Some nice defense going on here.
Yeah. As now both jammers now come off of turn 4 as the pack now makes its way down the main straightaway. Slightly split. A pack coming into turn 1, but Dopamine getting on through, picking up a Grand Slam 5-point haul for Brisbane. And the pack now slowly making its way into turn 1.
Dopamine just skating through the pack backwards, as you do.
As you do. Which is kind of ironic because
I do that for breakfast.
Yeah, look,
every skate through the kitchen
as soon as I get out of bed.
Out of bed backwards.
Out of bed backwards on my skates.
Straight over the cat.
Yeah. If only I had a cat. But that's actually
What's
something.
What's that cat doing in here?
I know, right? But that's actually something Cody's actually renowned for. If she gets a gap, she will turn around. Coming from an artistic background, obviously she's very, very comfortable skating any which way. But you know what? Full credit to the BCR blockers on that particular jam. They gave Code absolutely zip, zilch, nick, nada, nothing to work with.
In every language.
In every language.
Score currently 81-0.
Yep.
23 minutes and change left to go in the first half.
So wherever you might be tuning in right across this great big brown land or indeed around the world, we hope you're enjoying day 1 action here of TGSS 2018.
Yeah, thanks.
From the Adelaide Showgrounds as we get this jam underway. We have
some nice movement to the outside. KCR shutting down the jammer. That is 115 Necrophilia.
Yeah.
And finally able to bust it open on the apex, moving that pack forward to just get that bit of extra space.
Yep.
Oh, nice collection there.
That's 41. That's Maximilian jamming for Kingston.
I think it was up against Peppermint Crunch for BCR doing the damage on the block. That was sweet as. Or was it Kimbakazi?
Could have been
it was Kimbakazi.
Kimbakazi.
Yep. Peppermint Crunch heads to the penalty area.
Yep.
Oh, nice poise on the outside. Just keeping the skates in bounds.
Yep.
Necrophilia signals to the jam coach. Yep, I got you. Let's get some more.
Let's get some more points. Why not?
It all counts as we work out the pulls for the finals anyway.
Yep.
So win percentage, not just the W, but getting the percentage.
Yep.
Just sets everything in motion. Make sure you get the best possible seed.
Yep. As Maximilian made her way through now on a point scoring pass. Hopefully she can pick up 1 or 2 points would be nice to get Kingston on the board. But the Brisbane defence are having none of it. None of it whatsoever. No. As the pack now comes to a bit of a grinding halt into turn 4, slowly making its way down onto the main straightaway.
She's definitely got her hips past a few blockers now, so And it's a cut track against Nick, so it's now a power jam, KCR. You little beauty.
Good opportunity for KCR to pick up some points now while the jammer's in the bin. Now you can do one or two things. You can keep skating, get points, keep your jammer in the bin, go tactical.
Or you can run out of time.
Or you can run out of time, which works for KCR's favour anyway. So that's going to mean a power jam start for KCR. Good opportunity to get some points.
4 points on the board, KCR. Crowd,
there you go.
Crowd let them know, you little beauty. And the punt blockers crash through the century.
Yep.
All right, but it's a power start now for KCR.
And it looks like which way is going to be jamming for Kingston City Rollers. Whistle blown, hammer down, gets this one underway.
And hits the deck.
Hits the deck straight away. Kingston going to have to be a bit. They're going to have to be a bit more switched on about that, and try and work a little bit more defensively in situations like this.
And they've managed to force the jammer back behind the jam line here. So yeah, this is top-notch blocking from the punt blockers.
Yep. And as that was all happening, the BCR jammer just stood up, just bided their time. Well, waited to be released from the penalty box. Hence making their way back on track. Yep.
But both sets of blockers doing some great work here.
Yep.
Nice shutdown of the front with that triangle.
Yeah.
Until Thunderpuss comes crashing through.
Yep. Now, KCR are going to have to be a bit more switched on there. The triangle was out front, and they had an opportunity to really hold up the Brisbane jammer there, and just got a little bit lost. So they're going to have to address that, I think, at half time, because it's happened way too much more for the bench coach there. He won't be overly impressed with that. Good recycle, 469. That's Exy taking Nick deep back into turn 2. Thunderpuss just returning serve then on Exy, knocking her out to the outside part of the back straightaway.
Yep, just keeping that pack split.
Yep.
But nice work, Exy, able to just force the jammer to the outside as well. So even though isolated, still able to wreak a bit of havoc.
Yep. As number 5-7, that's which way for Kingston City Rollers. Makes her way back on track. Unfortunately, Abby Rogue. That's number 8 for Kingston. She's going to sit in the penalty box.
As is Unforgiving Bunny for BCR.
And there's another one. There's 2 BCRs. Yep.
Yep, so that's also Thunderpuss. So light on track at the moment.
Yep.
Not only just is going to make things more fun for the jammers.
Exactly.
Less bodies to get in the way.
Yep.
And it's the end of the jam. So it's going to be definite pack advantage for KCR as we head into jam number 6.
And we're just on 18 minutes remaining in this first half. We see BCR on 116 and KCR on 4. But as you mentioned, it is a 3-2 blocker advantage going in the way of Kingston. And I know for a fact that the jammer for Kingston on track will be loving this one. That's Cody, as we see ourselves under an official timeout. Sponsors, we've got a few of them this weekend.
We do.
First of all, Adelaide Showgrounds. Thank you, Adelaide Showgrounds, for this amazing venue. It never ceases to amaze me just how good this place is. Every time you come to this event, it's just phenomenal. So to the Adelaide Showgrounds and all the staff, we thank you so very, very much for letting us come in.
It's great.
Mess the place up for a couple of days and then bugger off basically on on Tuesday. So yeah, thank you very much to the Adelaide Showgrounds as we get this one underway.
Finest polished concrete in the city.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Around the outside goes 455 Rocket Man. And as the BCR exchange one blocker for another, Rocket Man just lifts her way through on the inside and picks up a 5-point pass.
And not to be outdone is Code using the inside part of turn 1 there to get on through.
Initial is completed. Let's get it on.
Yep.
Teases the outside pass, Rocket Man, but goes through the inside, calls it off. And that is the end of the jam. Another 2 points for KCR. So that is going to bring them up to
6,
hopefully.
Yep.
We'll get the points added to the scoreboard. Just a slow changeover of packs here going on. just slowly getting set. 5 seconds getting called.
And boom, we're underway.
Hurrah. Derby.
Yes.
My favourite.
Yeah. Everybody's favourite.
And a jammer penalty up against BCR. Hey, hey.
Good opportunity.
KCR with all the goodies in their basket. Big blocking on with that triangle again.
As we see number 29, that's Scrimchi, making her first jammer appearance in this game.
Good opportunity as well. Love
Definitely.
getting the shorter jammers on. They go so agile. She could probably skate underneath.
Pretty much.
But
deceptively strong.
Very much so.
Yep, deceptively strong. As we see, is it Nick making her? Yeah, it is making her way out of the penalty box.
Star pass. And that is 102. Regulator picking up the helmet cover. So BCR straight out of the jammer penalty bin and straight into a star pass.
And straight into number 8. That was Abby Rogue. Trying valiantly defending there, but she gets on through. And the star pass is complete now, as is indicated by the fact that she has it now adorned on her helmet.
That is a good place to keep it.
Yep.
And it's another star pass at the back, so Scrimchi giving up the helmet cover.
Oh, Ida Beholder, number 3 for Kingston.
So double star pass, that'll keep the scorekeepers happy.
Fair to say, Ida's got the rockets on as well, just wanted to get on through.
Oh,
bang,
look at
bang,
that.
bang. Look at this go.
Sweet as, nice pirouette as well, keeping the skates inbound. Some masterful jamming.
Nice.
Take a bow.
Ida Beholder, sucking in the big ones, as we quite often say in football, but
she deserves to on that one. That was a big effort. Scrimchi also just taking a lot of deep breaths as she comes off. KCR getting the workout on that jam, but hey-ho. They're in double figures, 10 points.
10 points for KCR, 134 BCR, with just on 14 and a half minutes remaining in this first half, as we see a team timeout going the way of Kingston. Actually happened a little bit later than I thought it might have, but that's okay.
That's all right.
Good opportunity for Kingston just to reset. They just gained a little bit in the last sort of 5 minutes, picking up some points here and there. The star pass in the previous jam, obviously, with Ida Beholder just... As soon as she got that star, bang, gone. Rockets were absolutely well and truly alit, and she just went for it. So I think that's a positive sign for Kingston.
Absolutely, and I do agree with that. And it's not a bad opportunity to call a timeout. You know, instead of doing the defensive timeout early on,
definitely
to set things on the way, you let your team sort it out.
Yeah,
and now you're getting a timeout where things are starting to get back on the way that you like it, and you can encourage your team.
Exactly.
And that's maybe a good coaching maneuver there as well.
Yeah, definitely. But that can have an adverse effect as well. If you've got a bit of momentum and the other team decide to call a timeout to stop things, all that momentum that you had can be washed off as well. So
it's also psychological.
Of course it is, absolutely. But I think the bench coach there for Kingston would be buoyed by the fact that, okay, we can give the star pass off to Ida, and she's going to get the rockets on and just go do the thing. So options, you got to use them.
And it's probably also to do with the fact that it's halfway through the first half.
Yep.
Maybe they've just sort of scheduled these things in just to say we're probably going to call a timeout at this point. So yeah. Meanwhile, Necrophilia back on track and picks up lead jammer for BCR.
Nice little defensive move by Nick on that previous pass too, just to get the lead jammer status. She put a nice old hit on number 3. It was Ida that we were just talking about. Knocked her well and truly off the track.
And so she's got to go back and try again. KCR pivot picks up a penalty, and Nick is through on the inside.
That was 469. That's Exie having a bit of a seat, having a bit of a sit in the penalty box.
She's picked up a couple already, so don't want to get that happening too much.
Yep.
Necrophilia cut track, so it is now a power jam for KCR.
Yep. Good opportunity for KCR blockers just to do some defensive work, some O work, and help number 41. That is Maximilian jamming for KCR. This is the opportunities that KCR need to take. They need to really cash in on this and see if they can't pick up some valuable points as we see 469 exiting the penalty box. And Smacks now getting on through.
Beauty.
On her initial pass, now coming around for a point scoring pass.
Interesting seeing Peppermint Crunch going from attacking the jammer to
Yep.
attacking a blocker. That just opened up. It opened up that line just for the jammer to just get a whiff
Yep.
of a gap and took advantage.
Yep. And the really good jammers that don't need a lot. Unfortunately, Nick has picked up another penalty, a forearms,
forearms
this time. Again, we talk about ebbs and tides in any form of sport. Things are starting to sort of happen for Kingston. They've got to start taking advantage of this and working more defensively. I mean, they are. You can see on track that they're working really, really hard.
But here's a chance for BCR.
Yeah.
You know, it's they've got to step up and they've got to take it, make the put the band-aids on. Really.
Exactly. Yep.
If someone's getting a bit of a run on,
Yep.
or if something's not quite right.
Yep.
Everyone else has to step up
Exactly.
and close those gaps.
Exactly.
At the end of that jam, it's still 8-5 in the pump blocker's favour.
Yeah.
But like you said, just a little bit of a push going on from KCR.
Yep.
Starting to reverse that momentum.
Yep.
And get things going their way. This is the game that we wanted to see straight out, but it's happening now.
Yep.
And it's certainly happening now. Look at this. Oh.
No, cut track.
Yes.
Called there on which.
Good eyes from the officials on
Yep.
the outside here. That happened right in front of us, so we
Yeah,
could
did.
see it.
We could see it, yep.
But officials everywhere, and with excellent eyes, making sure they pick that one up quickly. And great communication from the OPR to the inside
Yes.
to the jam ref
Yeah.
as well. And it's another jammer penalty. This time it is Necrophilia picking up another penalty.
Yep. Ida Beholder standing in the penalty box, so she'll be released any tick of the clock, and that'll put us back to 4-on-4 with the blockers. But first to get back on track, it is which way? The jammer for Kingston. Now Kingston set about trying to get up front. BCR more than aware of that, and
back. Look at that. Oh man, they just put the pedal down on that.
did they
bit.
what?
Oh, great blocking.
Yeah.
Number 8, Abby Rogue.
Yabby Rogue, yeah. Yeah, Rogue's very, very solid skater. And you don't want to get hit by her because you, more often than not, you get hit and you stay hit.
You stay down.
You stay down, yeah.
For your own protection.
Yeah. But again, we talk about opportunities. Nick, straight back on track. Bang, 5 points straight away. Grand Slam 5-point haul going the way of Nick and BCR. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Which Way and Kingston. Which just being held up on the entry into turn 3 there.
And BCR, a lot of confidence in their blockers, sending
Definitely.
a blocker forward to help with the O.
Yep.
Things just slowing down on the far side of the track here.
Yep.
Both jammers being held up beautifully by the blocking. A star pass has been made, so KCR. But that's the end of the jam.
Yep. And looks like 555 for Kingston. That's Thundercat. We'll start the next jam in the penalty box.
So slight pack advantage now, but back with the pump blockers.
Yeah, it will be a 4-3 blocker advantage going the way of the punk blockers as we see ourselves under an official timeout.
Righty. Just want to do a quick shout out to PhysioFit. PhysioFit are the Adelaide's and Radelade's official physio provider, but they are available to all of the skaters here at the TGSS. So that's really great. They're offering massage services to all the sore bodies over the Great Southern Slam weekend. There will be a lot of sore bodies.
Yes, there will be.
I hope they're ready.
Not to mention us commentators that some of us have got an enormous schedule this weekend. I know I have, and I'm pretty sure looking over the roster, we all have.
We all have. But this is great. We love being able to talk,
Exactly.
bringing the action to you wherever you are around the world.
Yep.
Once again, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Great to have your company wherever you may be tuning in. Not far away from a start. 5 seconds, in fact.
Alrighty.
Kingston opting to go up to do that pivot line start. And Rocket Man jamming for Brisbane, gets on through, picking up lead jammer as quick as that. Number 1-4, that's Code jamming for Kingston.
Nice help from Exie. And they got to let it go. So it is all on. Both jammers free of the pack. Scoring pass from BCR, and it's a penalty.
Yeah, unfortunately for Coach, he picked up a forearms penalty there, sending her off to the penalty box. And whilst that was happening, Rocket Man again picking up another Grand Slam 5-point haul.
Nice dodge, turn, parry, and spin, and the KCR blockers applauding.
Yeah,
that's definitely kudos.
We've
kudos is due.
Yeah, we've played a lot against Rocket Man, and she's just a hell of a nice person, but a formidable jammer. Just very, very good at what she does.
Getting a nice shove from her own blocker there to get that extra bit of acceleration.
And just a lazy 20 points while she goes about her business.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, it's nothing. I do that in my sleep. Getting on through. On the initial pass, it is 1-4 Code for Kingston. Rocket Man well aware of that and calls that one off.
Yep.
Allowing Cody nothing.
All right, quick change over. Get set for another jam.
Why not?
Oh, I think it's only fair.
Yeah. Handy little jam there for Rocket Man, picking up another 23 points to add to the very sizable BCR score. BCR 178, Kingston 15 with 7.5 remaining in this game.
Number 4 jamming for BCR.
There's Dopamine.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she is 3 on the outside, just getting the speed skates on.
And it's 41. That's Maximilian jamming for Kingston City Rollers.
That was nice. Unforgiving Bunny just doing the hard block. Opened up that inside line.
Definitely.
Quick points and call for BCR. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Nice work from the jam ref coming over, making things clear for the score bench.
Yep.
Excellent communication.
And speaking of refs, a huge, huge shout out to all our refs and officials here this weekend at TGSS.
Best of the national and international.
And international, yeah, definitely.
We are very honoured and privileged to have so many people come across.
Without them, we can't derby.
No, like we say, it would just be skating round and round and hurting people.
Yeah, pretty much. As we see Scrimshy jamming for Kingston, number 29.
Got a power jam to enjoy with necrophilia heading to the bench.
Yep.
But I wouldn't call this enjoy. This is hard work.
It is hard work.
Oh, boy.
Some good defensive work happening out front of the pack. That's Thundercat for Kingston.
And the helmet cover is in hand.
Yep.
But she's unable to pass it off. Ashes to Smashes. Getting right in the way. Trying to dart up the inside line, Scrimshy.
Unfortunately for Ashes to Smashes, making her way off to the penalty box. And Necrophilia released now, back out on track.
And the star pass has been made now.
And so hopefully now Ida Beholder can find a gap and get on through. And no quicker had I said that. She'd done just that. Nice
Excellent
big.
English.
Yeah. So Ida now on a scoring pass. There's one. There's 3.
Off we go.
Off we go to the races. Picking up 4 points.
Scrimshy just chasing down the jammer. And did she get a penalty? No, the jammer did. So necrophilia, I think, in all sorts of trouble here. It's the first period and 5 minutes left to go. I think that's at least 4 penalties I've seen on her.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
It could, but they've still got. I think they've still got enough firepower in the bank there to.
Well, there's definitely a lot of depth in the PCR bench. That's
Look at this
for sure.
5-point haul there for Ida, Grand Slam.
Jawohl.
Now, interesting, Chops, the bench manager for Kingston, was very quick to get into the centre there and just have a bit of a chat with the rest just to see if they saw something that he saw that they should be just aware of.
And we have a timeout being called by BCR.
It's an official
That's
review.
official review. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I reckon they're going to review the. Again, I'm forecasting something that I don't really know. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologise, but I believe it's going to be against their jammer. I think they're going to want to have a chat about that. I didn't see the call. I don't even know what put Nick in the penalty box. So I'm, as I say in theatre terms, I'm ad-libbing, and yeah.
We shall see what comes of it.
We shall see what comes of it.
We are getting some excellent communication from the referees. They are coming over and reporting things to us. So as soon as we get the news, we will pass it on.
Now, you mentioned international with the refs and NSOs this weekend. A big shout out to 3 of our international guests from New Zealand.
Yes.
We have Pirate City over here this year. We have Auckland Roller Derby League over here this year. And, of course, my second Roller Derby family, Richter City also.
Sweet as.
It's great to have those 3 teams over from across the Dutch, as they say. And that was the worst New Zealand accent you're ever going to hear all weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So
stay tuned. We can do more. We will do more.
I can get better.
Or worse.
Or worse.
Yeah, it's truly a great Southern slam now. We're going multinational.
It is. It's good. Very, very good.
All we need to do is get some South American teams across. Maybe get South African back.
Get some US teams across would be handy. They certainly know it. They know about the event.
They're not Southern.
Well, they're not Southern, but
no, they're not. No, they're not.
We could make it global.
Just total Southern Hemisphere.
Can we make it the Great Southern in brackets Global Slam?
Why not? Let's go Southern Venusian. Southern
Venusian. Pants and I have just.
We're just going into galactic.
Yeah,
now.
we've just created a whole new event.
It's the International Galactic Southern Slam.
Oh, is it what? Rydell, for over 70 years, Rydell has been the innovative leader in roller skate in the roller skating industry. Rydell Skate, unmatched quality, unmatched performance, and it's great to have Rydell on board as one of the sponsors here this weekend.
They've got an awesome stand over in our market, but a lot of merchandise and a lot of great product for sale over in our marketplace at Wavell Showgrounds. If you're coming down this weekend, do it and bring your money because you will have none left. There is so much awesome stuff.
Yep.
I'm kind of avoiding the market right now because I know that I'm going to buy stuff.
I've got a thing for beanies at the moment, so I'll have a squiz after this game. I've got a game's break now. Interesting.
Another official review.
This is Kingston now, probably officially reviewing the official review. I don't know. So yeah, Chops for Kingston has called an official review.
I think it's the first time I've seen a double official review.
I think I've only ever seen it once. Yeah, so fair to say we've got a nice little crowd building up here, Pants.
Indeed.
Yep. Always good to have as many backsides, trackside, as they say.
A lot of great action and a great opportunity for people in Adelaide to come over.
Yeah.
But also people who've made the trip over as well to see their friends and family play.
Definitely.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. It's interesting, I saw a news report during the week. And they believe, or it's forecasted, that about $1 million comes into the city of Adelaide this weekend just on this event. People obviously travelling internationally, interstate, spending at hotels, spending it here. So
that's right.
It's a coup for the city of Adelaide, and that's you know what, that's pretty big.
Yeah,
it's good.
Absolutely, and also with the the community chats and things that go on. There's a Facebook group for the coffee addicts.
There is,
and that has been a hive of activity over the last week or so.
Has it what?
And
the coffee's actually not bad outside. I'll just
no. They do a great job, but of course people love to try out all the different sort of gourmet coffees and the breakfast joints and everything like that. So there's been a lot of chat about what's open on the long weekend. And kudos to those who've been open because they're going to get a lot of business out of us.
Yes.
Speaking of the business, as you did before, so it's been really good for the people who love the Adelaide food culture to come over and get amongst it.
Exactly. And I've just come back from a trip overseas to South Africa, and the food and the wine over there was to die for, but that's another conversation for a little bit later on. Anyway, back to more important
You mean
issues.
we've got Derby now?
We've got Derby now, and
Okay.
making a Power Jam start is going to be number 14 for Kingston. That is Code.
Looks like they lost that official review. So it looks
I'm not
like
sure. Yeah.
like the Punk Blockers also lost their official review. So
Nearly got through. That's what I was telling you about
Nearly,
before.
yeah.
She does love to get backwards skating, does Code. And with her
She does
artistic
there.
background, and there you go, getting on through.
wham bam.
First time, I think, lead jammer going Kingston. Well done, Cody. Well done, Kingston. Now, let's see if they can make some... make some hay while the sun shines. It is an overused thing that I say, but it's true.
Hey, we love cliches.
We love
The
cliches.
more the better.
Yep. So Nick now, not lead jammer for BCR, just rolling on around.
Just hugging that outside line, and that was the end of the jam anyway. So she hugged it beautifully for not being under any pressure at all because it was the end of the jam.
Yep. Cody picking up 3 points. BCR, Donuts, picking up no points in that particular jam.
Winning jam.
Winning jam, that's it.
All right, KCR. Let's keep it going.
Small
27,
steps.
185. Let's catch up. Let's get a real game on our hands.
Yep. Interesting, BCR starting nice and wide, leaving that door wide open for Rocket Man to just go bang straight into the triangle of KCR.
You want to see if you can smash it through. If you're going to go old school, expect to get some momentum.
Big hit by Thundercat there to Rocket Man on the inside part of the track. No pass, no penalty. She's right to go.
And a star pass has been made, so that is 4-1 Maximilian picking up the jammer helmet cover.
Yep. And also picking up a penalty as well.
Ah, poo. I can say that.
Nah, incomplete star pass. So Smacks there has just left the star panty on track.
So there's another random element.
Well, BCR will be aware of this. They can't. Once upon a time, they'd be able to crowd that and go, "You're not getting it," but they can't do that anymore. They're not allowed to. No.
Nope, that's a penalty these days. So it's just concentrate on the opposition jammer and
hope you don't roll over it and trip yourself up.
No, they're keeping their eye on that.
Yep.
No one's touched it at all.
Now they're crowding it. Now they're going to have to be careful here because you're not allowed to do that. Smacks.
Not deliberately.
Now just returning back on track, still as a pivot. Now, they're going to have to be careful because they're not allowed to crowd her and stop her from picking that panty up. If I'm mistaken, please someone by all means tell me that I am wrong.
Well, she's picked it up now.
Yep. And she's also picked up a forearms penalty in the process.
Ah, gosh. Just when you're hoping things to start that going your way, they don't.
Look, it's all these little things. What most people at home won't know about Kingston is that we're still very much we're a young league. Some of our skaters, I mean, obviously they're batting level skaters, haven't had that much game time as a team, so we're still finding our feet a little bit, but credit where credit is due. And you know what? This team of punk blockers from Brisbane are putting on something of a clinic here as they stretch their lead to 208 and Kingston on 27. I think we're going to get one more jam with just on 50 seconds remaining.
Yep, it looks like we will.
And again, this is what Kingston don't want. Power jam start, and it's a huge blocker advantage. 4-2 blocker advantage, in fact, going the way of BCR.
Just setting around the pivot line, slowly rotating back. One more blocker to beat. There goes Dopamine.
Yep.
Picks up the points. Which way? Just got one more blocker to beat. That pack stretched out, and she gets around the outside. Nice. And Dopamine calls it.
And I think that will be all she wrote for this first half.
Yep, we're just winding it down. There it goes. You don't want to make that call because you never know.
And
but there it is.
And I haven't heard a whistle.
Nope, neither have I.
Now we have heard a whistle.
Okay.
That takes us to halftime, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you are enjoying this game between Brisbane City Rollers and Kingston City Rollers. As we sit at the halftime score, it is 27 Kingston and Brisbane on 2-13. We're going to take a bit of a break, probably grab some coffee or something to eat, or coffee and something to eat. And we look forward to your company in around about 15 minutes time.
You beauty. Welcome back to
Welcome back.
track number 4. It's bout 2 of day 1, and I hope that's a churro.
It is a churro. Feel free to have some. I've had already 1.5. It's amazing how many friends you make, or you didn't know you had until you got food. Anywho.
Speaking of which, let's get it on for the main course. Second half, BCR, KCR. If you're just joining us, the Pump Blockers have staked their claim on this. 213. KCR doing some immense blocking and jamming and trying to get the momentum back their way. 27.
And looks like number 4, Dopamine, jamming up first for BCR. Getting on through, picking up lead, Jammer.
4-1 for KCR. That's Maximilian. Trying to find a way through. But as we've seen quite often in the first half, though, that PCR 3-wall is just extraordinary. And you can see Thunderpuss as well, just roaming the middle of the pack, just breaking up with the offense. But also just ready to strike. Speaking of which, there she was striking.
Just lost her
hitting
feet.
the deck. Quickly up though.
Out front for jamming for Kingston, 41. It is Maximilian just being held up by, well, very, very tight triangle of BCR blockers. But getting on through is Smacks. And now she will set about trying to get some points, but Dopamine's more than aware of what was going on there and called that one off.
Nice high five between the jammers, though, as they came off. That was a tough old jam.
It is.
Some solid defense. It's good to see the jammers being able to share a moment and give each other a smile and a high five.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it. Let's switch it over.
Let's switch it over. Let's have
Rocket Man.
Yep.
And who we got on for KCR?
It looks like Which Way.
Sweet as.
As the whistle blown and the hammer down gets this one underway. Slow moving pack now just entering into turn number 1. And with it all to do out front, it is Rocket Man. Just one more blocker now to get past, and she does that. Picking up lead, Jammer.
Good work from Regulator there in the middle just to bust up the defense.
Nice bit of work here too by Assisted Smashes on the Kingston Jammer, just knocking her to the outside of turn 1, recycling her back almost to the pivot line. And this wall of blockers from BCR just so strong. Giving Which Way absolutely nothing in terms of real estate to work with.
Ida Beholden now has picked up the star pass.
Yeah.
So she is free and chasing down the pack, getting that helmet cover on very quickly so she can go and score some points. And she does.
Does that.
Whammo. You beauty.
Nice work there by Ida Beholder, picking up, well, 4 points for
Nicely.
KCR.
And
Oi!
hop, skip, and jump through. Did she get any? No, she did not.
No, she didn't.
Oh, she implores to the gods of Derby, please, a point.
Give me some points.
Sneaky point.
Give
no,
me that point.
No sneaky points for you, young lady. That is the end of that jam. So it is Kingston City 31 chasing down the Pump Blockers 240.
Yep.
We've got lots of Derby coming up. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, we have got an enormous amount of Derby coming up this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And we trust that you're enjoying this broadcast. I'm going to call it a broadcast, even if it is on the interwebs. It is a
broadcast. We are going worldwide on this one,
We are
baby.
global.
Live streaming it on the YouTubes around the world for your viewing pleasure and forevermore.
Nice bit of defensive work there by number 8. That was Abby Rogue on Rocket Man, just into turn 1 on the outside. They're recycling her back, but
sweet moves from KCR. Nice lateral movement. They have trapped Rocket Man. She's asking for help, and there is no help.
There's
coming
nothing
at
coming.
The moment.
But they will have to be careful on the. They've just picked up on it now, so they had left a gap there, and I was watching Rocket Man, and she was like, "Oh, there's a gap." No, there's not.
No, there ain't. And Scrimchi, off she goes.
And off to the races she goes. Good on you, Scrimchi. Well done.
Sweet. Rocket Man's got to go back and try again, and she is up against 4 from KCR. She keeps an eye on Scrimchi. Doesn't let her get any points, which is a shame because Scrimchi deserves all the points. She has been absolutely slammed around the inside of that tripod all day long, and she still comes back.
It doesn't phase her. Like, you think, oh, you poor thing, you poor thing. You speak to her at training, it's like, yeah, and?
This is the game.
So this is what I signed up for? Yeah. Exactly. So
she definitely deserves points, though, because, heck, it's been fun to watch.
Yeah. As we get this one underway, and it looks like Vixen might be jamming. I can see the yellow skates there through the plethora of feet.
Yeah. It is definitely yellow skates. Ahoy.
Yep. And it looks like we have number 14. That's Code jamming for Kingston. Slow moving pack midway main straight is where all the action is at.
And it is a jammer penalty against BCR, so
good opportunity here for Kingston and Code to get through and pick up some much needed points. Just one more blocker. No, two more blockers now up front, unfortunately for Code.
That water falling forward is doing BCR absolute credit here.
Yeah.
Keeping that. Oh, wow, that was fantastic. Two blockers against her.
Pushing her backwards.
Use their momentum. Hug the inside line. Yep. Code, come on down. That is superb jamming.
That's insanely good track awareness. But Code, with her artistic skating background, very, very solid. You rarely can knock her off her skate. She's just so strong.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, good move.
Helmet cover in hand.
For Vixen, yep.
Yep, so trying to fox the defense, but Ida Beholder having none of it.
Yep.
Eventually has to let her go.
Yep.
Peppermint Crunch.
Yeah.
She's a solid wall of D just by herself.
I don't know if you heard that. I heard that from Code. It was like, so, yeah, Code would be...
and that was right in front of the camera as well.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
You would have got that one at home, ladies and gentlemen. That was a big hit. Trust us when we tell you, from where we're sitting, it was a big hit.
Sweet. This is top-notch derby just from the opening round of the pool rounds.
Yep. Picking up 4 points in that previous jam was Code, and keeping BCR to 0. So, okay, again, a small little win. As we see Dopamine jamming now for BCR. Ida Beholder, just the last blocker that she has to get past, and she does so, and picking up lead jammer. Meanwhile, halfway through turns 1 and 2 is where we find the pack now. And the jammer for Kingston City Rollers, that is Smacks a Million.
Oh, nice work. Abby Rogue in the middle of the pack. Dopamine getting forced to the outside. This is just great. Unfolding right in front of our eyes.
Good
all
defense.
All the tactics, all the D, all the O.
Yep.
Oh, mate.
And Rogue loves that. She loves that body on body. She invites her jammer. You want to get past me? Good. Take me on. I love it. I want it. That's what I want to do. Also coming from a hockey background is Rogue. Used to play a lot of roller hockey and inline hockey as well. So Rogue and I share, obviously, an interest in that regard. Very good skater by her own admission. But, yeah, very, very solid blockers. That one's called off. 9 points going the way of BCR, stretching them out to 249. And Kingston on 35 with just on 22 minutes remaining in this game. As my churro has gone stone motherless cold, but that's okay. It's still food and it's edible and it's sweet and I like it. I think I've covered all bases there.
Excellent. You could use it as a hammer later on. All right. Next jam underway. Again, mobile BCRD.
Yep.
And it's that person, a rocket man.
Yep.
Right on through. Oh, nice.
Nice move there by Which Way, number 57 from Kingston. She gets on out now. Initial pass on.
Ida Beholder doing great on the outside. And forces the call off. Here we go. So still 4 points to BCR on that one.
Looks like Kingston have addressed a couple of things at halftime. One, their tenacity. It seems to have picked up a lot. They're coming out a lot more, I don't know if aggressive is the word. I'm going to use it.
You can use it.
Yeah, they're much more aggressive in this second half. They're not as, the opposition jammer got past us. You know what? You're going to get past me. I'm going to make you work hard for it. I mean, it's early stages, as I said, with 20 minutes remaining, but there's a lot more. There seems to be a lot more intent and a lot more urgency from the Kingston crew.
And that's great.
Yeah.
We're getting a jam by jam, much more even competition.
Definitely.
As a spectator, this
Yep.
is exactly what you sign up for.
But scoreboard aside, it's actually
No.
a really good game to watch. I don't think any of the people here watching would be saying, oh, yeah, ball, a bit one way, blah, 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 blah. It's actually a really, really good game. As we get this one underway, timeout done and dusted. We have Vixen skating for BCR up against Scrimchie for Kingston City Rollers as the pack now makes its way into turn 1.
BCR blockers getting so low. They're just trying to get in the way of Scrimchie's shoulders as she's trying to wedge her way through. She gets past 1, but 2 were able to shut her down.
Yep. And again, we see that reforming out the front of the pack there by BCR. They're just so quick at getting through, and that seems to be the thing these days. I think the VRDL All-Stars have set the benchmark in that regard. You watch them play, they get broken up, and as soon as they've been broken up, they are in front and they've reformed on you as quick as you can blink.
We are going to get treated to a VRDL All-Star game on the final day here at the Great Southern Slam. There will be an exhibition bout between the visiting VRDL All-Stars and the MVPs from TGSS 2018. It'll be a composite team.
Yep.
And that will be intriguing.
It will be. As is a star pass made by Kingston, being put now and adorned by number 469. That is Exie. No stranger to jamming, although doesn't do it all that often.
She's doing a bit today, which is great.
Yep.
You love those sorts of players that can switch between roles. You're not quite sure what they're able to do because they just seem to do everything.
Yep. Just got a little bit confused there, did X. Unfortunately now for her, she's going to be making a trip to the penalty box.
Oh, well. Hands the power jam back to BCR.
Yeah.
So Vixen is able to step through.
Yeah.
Gets the encouragement from the bench coach, and off she goes to get some more.
Yep. And that was just a little bit too easy for Vixen on that previous pass.
End of the jam.
Yeah.
So that is a 30-point jam, as you do.
What?
283. Yeah, snuck that one in, didn't she?
Did she? What?
283 to 35 is the score. 18 minutes and a bit left to go in this second bout of day 1. Div 2 action coming to you.
Yeah.
Courtesy of the fine people of AJ's Lighting and Sound Events. They are the people who are responsible for supplying all the gear and getting us up and running here. So thanks to AJ. Let's get another jam on.
Yeah.
And Rocket Mam, she has been called for a penalty, so she is off.
And of course that will release Exie, who started this jam in the penalty box.
There she goes.
Jamming for Kingston.
And there she goes, lead.
Yep.
So Pack just centering on the pivot line at the moment.
Nice bit of
Clean up.
defense there by Code.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that sort of defense or over it, you've got to actually get the timing right, because you can go way too early and muck it up.
Yep, the defense is able to respond.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thus bringing the person you've just taken out back on track a little bit quicker. So you've actually got to be, halfway smart about what you're doing, and timing is paramount. So that was it was a good effort from Code.
BCR just line it up on the pivot line, saying, "You want it? Come and get it."
Exactly. As we are now under a team timeout, I believe, called by Kingston City Rollers. So
it does appear to be the way. So BCR just having a chat on the pivot line.
Yep.
Don't forget, you can relive all the action on the YouTube.
On the YouTubes.
So all the games that we are recording will be available. So yay for being able to replay and enjoy time and time again.
Exactly. Well, I guess as commentators, it's good for us to find our games and maybe create a little portfolio, whatever you want to call it. Portfolio.
Except for this one, because you've mangled the English language.
I've just absolutely destroyed the English language.
I did that on a regular basis.
Yeah. You got one job, JR, and you just absolutely stuffed it right up.
Good chance for the refs to have a bit of a chinwag as well during a timeout. They're all just having a yabber in the middle of the field here.
Yep.
Get a bit of liquid refreshment and get set for another jam. They, of course, working real hard all weekend, not just us commies with the multiple bouts, but the refs as well. All ref crews working really hard all weekend. Yep.
Big tip of the hat and shout out to the men and women adorning their stripes.
As well as the beautiful black shirts that we see.
Yes.
They're all officially awesome.
They are. Whistle blown. Hammer down, you know what that means.
Let's get some derby.
Let's get it on. Maximilian, number 4-1, jamming for Kingston. Power jam start for her.
Yep, Thunderpuss and Bunny doing the damage there on that. Look at that front triangle. Yep. That is forced to the ground by Unforgiving Bunny.
Yep.
Now they're cycling around. So Scare Bear gets a chance to show her wares.
Yep.
And look at that, just as solid. That is fantastic.
Not to be outdone behind him at the back of the pack, the Kingston defense really going to work on Rocket Mom and holding her up as well.
Trying to force her way through, getting a little forward momentum and breaking on through. There we go. Rocket Mom. And it also forced the penalty as well. So that is Thundercat having a seat.
Yep. Now that lead jammer status going to Rocket Man was as a result of some really, really good offensive blocking. I can't make out quite who it was, but it just opened the door. And as I mentioned a little while ago, timing is absolutely paramount. If you're going to do O work, make sure you do it and you do it to perfection and get your timing right, or else you can absolutely make a mess of it. On that particular occasion, they didn't. The timing was spot on. Rocket Man knew exactly where to be. Gets on through and she picked up lead jammer as a result of it, and then calling that one off after picking up another 4 points.
Yep. And got her blocker out of the penalty box as well.
More importantly,
so they were able to start with a full 5.
Yep. So now I've got that person's number. It was Kim Okazi who done that bit of offensive blocking in front of us here in between turns 1 and 2. Just perfect. Absolutely spot on.
All right, body with a hand in the air. It's 5 seconds.
Yep.
Let's get it on.
Bang. Which way? Kingston. Up against Dopamine, BCR.
Big catch at the front from the KCR blockers. Well done.
Well done. And Rogue also very much aware of that, just bridging out just to make sure that her blockers have got the absolute maximum amount of room to work. Unfortunately, though... Oh, no. Yeah, it's a forearms call. Sorry, yes, on Ashes, just some Ashes. Also making a trip to the penalty box is 469. That's Exy.
So 1 off for both teams.
Yep.
Set for a scoring pass. Let's get it on. High. And that is the end of the jam.
Yep. Quick score check. We have BCR on 299, KCR on 43 with just on 14 minutes remaining in this game. So just a little over the halfway mark already expired. BCR, no doubt. Well, they'll crack the 300 mark. It's not a case of if.
Although it would be an amazing defensive turnaround. All right, let's get it on. That is 1-4 code.
Yep.
Up against the gorgeous yellow shoes of Vixen.
And she's a hell of a nice person too. I've got a lot of time for Vixen. She's a lovely, lovely lady. One more blocker for Code to get by.
Does so with ease.
A little bit of side surfing there from Vixen just to get on through and go, look what I can do. Penalty box seeing a lot of work. People exiting left, right and centre. There's more action going on in the penalty box than what there is on Flinders Street Station on a Monday morning. For those people that live at Melbourne, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
For everyone who doesn't live in Melbourne, now you know.
It's a big train station in the heart of the city. Anywho, back on the track is where we find all the action. Back straight away, in fact. Slow moving pack. Defense is going to work on one another.
Vixen just getting the skates down hard, getting the speed down, trying to get as many points as fast as possible.
And the same can be said for Code. That's number 1-4. Jamming up for Kingston.
Multiplayer up against BCR. That's 2 blockers that have just headed to the bench
Yeah.
in the last couple of seconds.
So what Vixen can do here, she can do one of two things. She can keep going, getting all the points. That's fine. Or she can look at her penalty box and go, right, okay, I've got 2 of my skaters in there. I need to get them out. Have I got enough time to do it?
Definitely got enough time. There
got
was
enough time.
about 40 seconds when when that happened. So she can probably skate out this jam and then make sure that they've got four going on for the next one.
Yep.
There's one back on.
Unfortunately,
another one went to the bench.
There's another one.
So much for that tactic.
That didn't work. And another one going to the bench,
so
as did Cody.
So BCR 2 blockers on, but it's just an absolute pile up. On the inside line.
Yeah, Vixen and Thundercat coming together. Looks like Thundercat might be maybe just picked up a little bit of a corky on the right thigh, but unfortunately though for Kingston, number 1-4, that's Code, made a trip to the penalty box, and that's where she will stay, thus bringing a power start here. A power start, to BCR and Rocket Man.
Officials timeout.
Yep.
Now the penalty could have come in at exactly the wrong time. We are getting the official having a chat with the penalty box.
Yeah.
And it does perhaps look like one of the BCRs has picked up their final penalty. Indeed. Unfortunately for BCR and Unforgiving Bunny, she has, she's fouled out. Little salute to the camera and us on the way past.
God bless her cotton socks. Now, for those tuning in at home that might not have seen Derby before, you can only have so many penalties per game.
7, in fact.
7, in fact. And when you reach that 7, you are unfortunately out of the game. So, for Bunny, unfortunately, that's where she finds herself. But that's okay.
Yeah, she's going to sit down with the rest of her teammates and enjoy watching the rest of the game.
Lives to fight another day, and that's the beauty of it all. Big gap and start there for Rocket Man. Not that she needs it, but goes to work now.
KCR could have taken advantage of it. That every second it takes for you to get past the pack, it's another second off the time your jammer spends in the box.
Yep.
And nice work up front for KCR. They able to delay Rocket Man for about good 3 or 4 solid seconds there.
Yep. Now, quality skater is Rocket Man. Formidable jammer. Just very polished. Every time she takes to the track, certainly against us. Oh, here we go. Hello.
It's jammer on jammer.
It is jammer on jammer.
Code doing the massive recycle here.
Yep. Now, what's Code going to do? She's going to try and knock her out again.
No, and she did.
Guess what? And the recycle's back on again.
More time.
Okay, so this is obviously a very good play for anyone maybe watching at home for the first time and not understanding why they're doing this. It's tactical for Cody. She doesn't want that jammer to get in any more points. So she's just going to just sit there and go, okay, cool, you just do what you've got to do. Now, Code's got to be aware of Rocket Man coming up behind her to make sure that what she's just done doesn't all, come apart.
Now she's going to
and it kind of did. Yeah.
Well, it's Rocket Man.
Yeah, she's solid. She's solid skater. And she knew exactly what was going on. She knew exactly what she had to do to rectify that.
Mm-hmm.
Turn 3. That's where everything is happening. Slowly now making its way into turn 4. Out front, Ida Beholder. Oh, nice hit.
Nice. But just touched
no pass, no penalty. Yeah, I think Ida might have gone out as well.
Yep, she did. So not the full spread of points.
Yep.
But still points. And nice track awareness by Rocket Man. She realized that she touched the inside of the apex there.
Yeah.
So able to get off, not execute a derby maneuver and not get called for the penalty. So well done to her. Excellent track awareness.
No, we're seeing some tidy roller derbies in this particular game. BCR, well, they've bought it and then some. KCR,
not on the scoreboard. We are not seeing it on the scoreboard.
We're not seeing it on the scoreboard.
Seeing it in front of our eyes here. They have definitely brought it to BCR as only they can. They have come out to play, and they have certainly played hard and fast. And
absolutely.
It's been great to watch.
Yep. And getting on through and picking up lead jammer for BCR, as she has done so many times already in this game. That's Dopamine. And she's giving up around about a half track to number 41. That is Maximilian for Kingston. Oh, nice bit of defensive work there by Ida Beholder, number 3. Not quite.
Bit of a swing and a miss.
Yeah,
but
it was.
It certainly got something on the way through.
So, slow-moving pack, just now edging its way into turn number 1. Nice skating there by Dopamine. So strong.
Murray Fury also trying to do her best to just track her down and ping her. KCR, good track awareness again. There's eyes are everywhere, and you can see them talking to each other all the time. That's top-notch communication.
Yeah, the communication's definitely there. Absolutely. Nice little hit there from Thunderpuss on Thundercat. All the Thunders. As the pack now makes its way down the back straight away, picking up another 4 points for Kingston.
Got a bit of a wardrobe malfunction on track.
Yeah.
Someone's armband seems to have come off.
Yep.
But well spotted by the ref and picked up.
Nice.
So before anyone got hurt.
Yep.
Nice.
Very north. So 14 points going the way of BCR, stretching them out to 355. 4 points going the way of Kingston. Has them on 51.
BCR calling an official review.
Yep.
So we've already seen a couple of official reviews.
Yeah.
BCR using their second. They've still got a couple of timeouts in hand as well. One timeout left for KCR.
So we're going to start this with a, I believe, just looking at the penalty box, we do have a couple of visitors. Looks like it's going to be a 3-2 penalty, blocker advantage rather, going the way of BCR. So plenty of action still to come your way, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching right across Australia and indeed around the world. We trust that you are enjoying this coverage of TGSS for 2018.
Coming up next, we're going to have Auckland Roller Derby League from New Zealand.
What?
On this track.
What?
Playing against Convict City.
Whoa.
From Tassie.
From Tassie.
So it's a Trans-Tasman challenge.
In every true definition. That's going to be awesome. That's actually going to be a really, really good game.
Gosh, don't go anywhere, guys. We've got some awesome matchups.
Yeah. That is going to be a really good game. Looking forward to that. I might have a sneak preview of that. But that said, also my good friends at Richter are playing at the same time, so I probably should do them.
You're torn. What shall I do?
The choices, right?
Just stand in the middle of all 4 tracks and just spin around. Get a rotisserie going or something like that. So
just have drones on every track, and I've got 4 screens so I can just watch all the derby at the one time.
Done.
Sorted.
And if you are at home and you have 4 screens going right now, you have a really good internet connection.
You are doing
envious.
You are doing exceptionally well.
That's a lovely thing. Jessica Rabbit walking around with this beautiful...
Good to see Jessica back at TGSS.
All over it.
All over it, exactly.
Jessica Rabbit, of course, one of the sweethearts of Canberra's reffing league.
And a very good ref too. Very, very good ref.
Yeah.
As all the refs here at TGSS and indeed around Australia. As we mentioned before.
Well, as we said before, like, you know, as a skater, you train and you aim to come to a TGSS as a ref.
Exactly.
You work at your skills, you build your knowledge, and you want to come to a tournament like this as well.
You do. Of course you do. Absolutely. Even commentators. You do your home games or your home season. You do some maybe some interstate games, but you clock up the miles and you get your experience in the hope that one day you do a tournament like this. And
or you
from
could
this,
be
you
like,
could go to
like
the Big
me
O
and start announcing and do 3 games and then come to your first TGSS and go dive in the deep end because you can.
Because you can, and you're good at it. And we love having you on board.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
So that was a few years ago now, but I'll tell you what, as a wonderful introduction to interstate and the fantastic sport, there's nothing better.
I'm just looking across track, and I see a scoreline that's, well, it gives a whole new meaning to the word blowout on track Number 3, there's 2 teams playing. The scoreline is 94
Yeah.
to 507.
Nah. That's all right. We had one earlier that was 44
Yeah.
to 598.
That's a big
It was a big blowout.
That's a big blowout. Yep.
But once again,
Yep.
You looked at the individual matchups and
Yeah.
every single jam.
Exactly.
And all these skaters giving their all, and it was entertaining
Yeah.
because you watch people get their little victories. They
Oh,
got
definitely.
through the pack. They got a good block in, and it's like
They might have done some good
absolutely.
in a particular jam or something. So you look at that
Exactly.
and you say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the scoreline.
worry
We know
about it.
we know it doesn't look pretty. What did we do well? Oh, I did this well in this particular jam. Okay, tick, win.
Or
What did we do good
I
as a
got
team?
better at this.
Exactly. So
I didn't work in the first half,
Yep.
but it worked in the second.
exactly. So you're absolutely spot
Little
on.
beauty.
Yep. I think we're just about ready to get this one underway. We have a blocker for Kingston in the penalty box. That is Ida Beholder, and we also have a blocker. It looks like
A
Might be
skater.
Kimikaze.
It looks like a skater.
it looks like a skater. I think it's Kimikaze also sitting in the penalty box. So
We do have derby going on though.
yep,
High block being called against
Pepper.
Thunderbolts.
Oh, Thunderbolt. Sorry, yeah, no, you're right. So we have Rocket Mound, BCR, Scrimshy, KCR.
God, this is just so much fun to watch.
Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it? It is just.
nice clear out. 3-1-3, Kimbo Kazi.
Yeah, Kimbo, very, very strong, very good defensive blocker. Just knows how to read the play, knows where to be at any given time. Certainly she's got to do what she's doing now, and that is just hold Scrimshy up, positionally block her. She could probably just do that one-on-one. That's how good she's going at the moment.
Bit of a pile-up on turn 2. And it is a forearms penalty against Scrimshy.
Yep.
So that has cleared the way for BCR
Yeah.
and another power jam.
Taking a bit of a tumble there off of turn 3 was Murray Fury for Kingston, but picks herself up. Meanwhile, that was happening. Rocket Man picking up another Grand Slam 5-point haul to add to the total for BCR.
And
Oi.
she decides to just clean the floor on the
Yes.
way through.
A little bit of a victory slide, baseball slide-esque.
Definitely unplanned. She just picked herself straight up, got
Yeah.
around and got herself another few points. Good on you. Now we're all set for a little jammer on jammer, perhaps.
Yeah. Oh,
Both
solid.
Both jammers just with the eyes on the
Wow.
blockers in front.
Yeah. There's a big, big hit by the Kingston wall there. Just
Yeah.
Rocket Man had nowhere to go because the other jammer, that was Kingston jammer, was on the outside part of the track.
That's
So-
nice to see benchies for both
Yeah.
sides give their players a
Yep,
big round of applause as
Yeah.
they finished up that jam. That was good.
that was good.
51 for Kingston City Rollers, 386 for the Punk Blockers. Coming out of Brisbane City.
Yep.
Coming down to the chilly south and looking to stake a claim early on in their pool.
Yeah.
All these teams will have another game on either later this afternoon or tomorrow morning.
Yep. So we're just under an official timeout.
That's right. Once again, Jam
Okey-dokes.
Refs is coming over, making sure all is good. Everything's fine.
Everything's
Beauty.
good in the world.
Let's get it on.
Let's.
4:47 left to go in the game. Don't forget afterwards, Auckland up against Convict City
New Zealand
On
versus
this-
Tassie.
on this very track.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, get the snacks out, guys. Strap yourselves in. It is a monster day of roller
Oh.
derby.
So much going on. So much going on.
Still waiting for the officials just to make sure everything's all right.
Yep. So hopefully not too far away from a resumption in this game.
And it looks like we are a little bit away.
Okay.
No,
No.
Yes, no, no, yes, no.
Yes, no, maybe. AGS. How
Yes.
good are they? AGS Lighting and Sound Events. Sales, hire, and installation of audio, visual, and lighting systems for all commercial and domestic applications, including corporate functions and conferences. For all those needs, please get in contact with AGS because they have supplied us with all the things here at TGSS for 2018, and they are brilliant. So we thank them very much for coming on board and looking after us for TGSS.
And where are we?
We are at the Adelaide Showgrounds. We are in Adelaide, and we are in Derby heaven. Okay, I might have stretched it just a little bit on that last part, but
no.
for all the people playing derbs,
Talking to some of the Adelaides today, and they're just like, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Christmas comes once every 2 years here, but it's Christmas if you like Derby.
Exactly.
They are absolutely stoked to be hosting this event, as they do every time around, and they've all worked so hard to make it happen.
I tell you that the level of professionalism in terms of putting this event on has been mind-blowing.
Now let's get some Derby on.
Let's
Here we
get it
go.
on.
Darting and weaving and turning is 57 which way.
Yep.
Every which way.
Not to be outdone out the front of the pack, the Kingston triangle working nice and hard. But look who's circling on the outside, as she has so often done.
Which way has taken off her helmet cover, so she can't get lead. She's pretty much ceded that to Vixen, and Vixen has duly responded. But interesting that she took off the helmet cover well before it was made. The start pass has been made now.
Yep.
And that has been made to someone who was not the pivot. So well done.
Yeah.
Ida Beholder, I think, thought she was the pivot, and actually she weren't.
Yeah, bit of a miscommunication there. But again, we've seen it so many times before.
So what are they going to do with that? Is that a penalty?
They're having a talk about it. I almost
She is taking Ida Beholder's taking herself off to the penalty bin.
Yeah.
She's pretty much assuming that she's going to get done for something.
Mm-hmm. What I was going to say is we've seen it time and time again. Kimikaze and Rocket Man, they've got this communication going on, which is just absolutely sublime to watch. Kim just positions herself just on the outside of the pack and just waits and waits and waits and waits until she knows that Rocket Man is ready to go, and it's just instantaneous. It's bang, I'm doing this now, you're going through now, and it's just it really is unbelievable to watch. Just their timing is phenomenal, and she's done it so many times this game.
Yeah.
I guess anyone here at the event watching and thinking, okay, we might play these guys at some point, I'd be taking some serious note of that, because that offensive blocking part of Kim's game is just phenomenal. It's just working so well for the BCR team.
It's one thing to recognise. It's another thing to actually work out a way to stop it.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of any sort of sport like this, isn't it? Yeah.
The athleticism on display here has been extraordinary.
Yep.
The best amateur athletes going.
Yep. And I'm glad you used that word, athletes, because all these girls skating here this weekend never ever have to defend whether they're athletes or not. They are. They all are. They might not be at the top of the athletic tree, so to speak, but
then
they're athletes.
That's what I mean by amateurs, because everyone here is a student, has a job, they're mums,
wives. Yep.
They do their own life thing, and this is something they do for fun. We do this for fun.
And of course, amateur is a French word. It means for the love of.
It also means no money.
Exactly. Damn. Anyway, out front.
You do it for glory, and there's a lot of glory going on here.
Dopamine, number 4 for BCR. Out front is your lead jammer, number 57, sorry. Is Which Way, jamming for Kingston.
And Dopamine calls it off, so that is the end of the jam.
A quick score check.
A few high fives and sloppy hugs going on. The things are just loosening off as we get to the end of the game. 2.5 minutes left to go. Puck blockers have crashed through 400. They're on 405. Kingston City on 51.
Yep.
But team's going to keep it tight. You don't want to get too fast and loose as you wind it down.
Yep.
And looks like Kingston City have failed to field a pivot.
They
so just got to keep the concentration up, guys. It's know the scoreline's a bit silly, but you want to be able to say you finished it exactly the way that you started it.
Yep, and that won't impress Chops, the bench manager and the head coach at Kingston. That will not impress him at all. He will look at that and go, you know what? Just as you said, don't worry about the scoreline and everything else.
We don't play with balls, but you don't want to drop the ball.
No, exactly. Anyway, it's happened. We move on. And Rocket Man doing as Rocket Man has done all this game, out front, picking up all the points. A grand slam, 5-point haul going the way of her and her beloved BCR. As the pack now makes its way into turn 1.
Nice step through on the inside. A little bit of air for Rocket Man, 5 points. Maximilian also through, but picks up a penalty on the way, so hands the power jam over to BCR. And it's more points.
And again, BCR so clever, just holding Mari Fury up on turn 1 there, so thus bringing about an extra, or one less blocker rather, for Kingston to have to work with. But it kind of didn't work, but doesn't matter.
Maple Slam trying to get back for the recycle, but BCR wise to it, able to shut down the recycle. So well done. And also keeping the pack separate at the same time. So they've really nailed that D.
They have. And this is working beautifully for Rocket Man, just only having 2 blockers from Kingston to have to work with, because Murray Fury's been held up there by the Brisbane blockers. 41.
Getting absolutely shoved back here by Maximilian.
I was just going to say, 41 Maximilian just having a real tough old time with Vixen there. And Vixen just as good a blocker as she is a jammer. So, Road comes in. Nice big hit on Vixen there. Vixen having none of it. Rocket Man having none of it. She's called that one off.
All right. End of the jam.
End of the game.
End of the game.
Unofficial score.
Unofficial score. So just making sure that the points are correct before we get the final whistle.
I's dotted, T's crossed, as one would say.
And we have a time. It is a timeout. So some time is going to be added back onto the clock by the scorekeeper by the looks of it.
It is. And I reckon we might just get one more. Okay, so I've just been informed that there'll be 8 seconds put back onto the clock.
Alrighty. So we got one more jam. And if we were, in the grand final or something like that, we'd get a nice chart going.
It would be along the lines of one more jam.
Looks like there's a few BCRs over from the other track just having a look as well. Looking at their compadres. Nice
little crowd forming there just around turn 3 off the back straightaway. I'll get my straights and corners sorted out eventually.
All right, we are all set for Jam 18, period 2.
We are.
8 seconds has been successfully added to the clock.
Yep.
We will get one more jam. You little ripper.
And in the words of my co-commentator Pans, we have 5 seconds. We are under the jam timer. And let's get it on. One more jam, ladies and gentlemen, to round out this game. BCR, Queensland, KCR, Victoria, state versus state, mate versus mate, and any other thing that
you want to think
any
of?
other thing you can think of along those lines.
Scrim G doing the thing on the outside, getting knocked out, coming back in. It's 3-2. That's Scare Bear.
Yeah.
Getting a chance to shine with the jammer helmet cover on. And she's got some points under her belt as well. Sweet as Kimbakazi doing the big recycle up against Scrimchi.
As she's done all day. Kim just so strong. Such a strong, tall blocker. And she's making life, well, I'll be polite, she's making life hellish for Scrimchi there, jamming for Kingston. As Scrim now pulls the
helmet
star off,
in
so
hand.
she's got the stash going. Nice bit of defensive work there by number 3. That's Ida Beholder on Scare Bear, recycling her to about midpoint of the back straightaway. Same for Scrimshy and Kingston. As the pack now makes its way into turn number 4.
KCR doing a nice job just on the apex, which is not the easiest thing to do, to hold back the jammer. Code just out front. Ida Beholder as well, making life hard.
Ooh.
And valuable seconds.
Yep.
Excellent job. High five between the two blockers there as they go back to rejoin the pack.
Yep.
And they're just playing this one out. It is maximum value again.
Yep. Well, in football terms, BCR, it's all about playing for percentage. They're trying to get as much of a points differential between themselves and KCR, because later in the weekend, it could mean the difference between playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's really it's valuable for them.
All to play for.
All to play for. Now that one comes to an end,
and it is definitely the unofficial score.
It is definitely unofficial score.
So it's staring down at 460 to 51 in the way of the punk blockers. And that is the rolling whistle that calls an end to it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes.
My name is Bance.
And my name is JR. Thanks very much for your company, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you might have been viewing right around this great big brown land. And make sure you stay tuned. More derby action coming up your way in just a few moments.